So I think the mystery's solved. Why would someone walk in the garage with fresh white paint to go over there? That doesn't make sense, right? Well, it does now. And the video is going to follow to show that. And why is my pool vacuum hose disconnected? Well, the video will show that. And what would cause someone to have such a wide path of spray with paint all over, which went all over my fence? Wood I don't care about. Retaining wall, that ain't going nowhere. Who's gonna fix that? And how did the paint get on that? That's odd, huh? See, this is the one that was hiding behind my pool heater. It was hidden completely in a place that it's not supposed to be. So they detached it from its broom, used it for something that got white paint on it, and then they took it and put it behind my Pentair pool heater, which is completely odd because they're not even working over there. And why do I have a little bit of paint on this? Which is supposed to always be in the back corner.
¿Cómo se cayó? Desde arriba la güey. ¿Cómo? Oh, brother. Quita la bolsa. Este, brother. Quita la bolsa de ahí y echen agua para que fuera antes de que seque. No, no van a caer. Hay una escoba. Una escobita ya no me lo hagan. Ya, tú lo tenías. No, todavía no se manchó. Ahí. ¿Cuál último lado con un killer? Ok, allá atrás. With the pressure washer. ¿Se le presión? No, okay.
Another quick comment, which they know, I should point out before I get off the roof. This is the pipe that the guy you see in the previous one where the ladder that they went up and down was right there. So you had a power cord coming up. He had wrapped it around here, was up in approximately that area. While pulling on it, that's what pulled this thing over, right? So they really need to try and straighten that up a little bit more. The other thing is, if you're looking at this, you know, obviously that's a driveway. If you look from this angle, you know, at least it looks okay, right? Also, you'll see they spray painted this. However, I know they ran out because that's why they didn't finish spray painting that. And in theory, they should spray paint the black and get that consistent before they come back in with the white and do the trim, right? Because if they paint that black after, they can't even get it on the metal, which I understand. It's a little bit challenging right there, but you'll see some of that black paint went everywhere. So they really should do the black paint, finish it, and then go over with white. But here's the part that from the street looks good. I don't think they expected the owner to come up from behind, because if you look at it from the roof, you see they didn't even bother to paint the backside. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. And there's no reason why they can't paint it consistently. So they basically only painted the front side, thinking I wouldn't see. Now, just to be clear on this video, not only have I walked the roof entirely, even the chimney parts I pointed out, and literally touched and feeled the whole thing. I also have a drone. My drone, I've been flying over this house daily. So I got day by day changes of the work status from above. So I'm able to take a 4K DJI drone, as most of you know with drones, and get in real close. I can come down below it and tilt the camera up and look up under the eaves. I can come from above. So that's all been done. So there's no question about whether this process was documented. And to be fair, I've told the leads from day one. Oh, here's another one. This flashing they put down, and that was done a while back, and maybe the couple days prior. And that one hasn't been painted at all, nor the trim above it. So there's another piece. This is on the back side. Anyway, where I was going with that is, I told them from day one, there is cameras. And the reason I said that is because since I work from home, there's someone here 24/7. And I said, if you need anything, you could just call out. I'll hear you on the camera, right? Because all these cameras are 4K with night vision, with audio, and record. I'm not going to say how long it records, but it's 24/7 live, multiple cameras. Some cameras you can see, some cameras you cannot, and that's by design. So stored in multiple locations. And anyway, I was just being fair to them and say, hey, there is security cameras. I think pretty much everybody these days have them. So that's not something unusual. Anyway, here you can see, you know, the level of work here, right? Anyway, so they just need to finish that up. Here's another example of the, you know, it's no big deal, I already pointed out. You can see the way they paint, right? So, look at this, all through here, how they paint, right? Again, nobody sees it. So this is not, you know, if I list out all the issues and give a ranking system to them, this is not rank high. But anyway, let me go down. Down here's where it really is more of an issue. All right, let me come down to the end down here. Things look good here. So one of the things I pointed out to a gentleman who showed up last Thursday was there's a place on this side down here where basically they redid this, and whoever was operating the nail gun just simply missed the beams. Now, what the guy said is it's probably the guy who was doing this, right? That's probably how it got missed. You know, you can see how they cut it. It's very ragged, and I'm like, okay, that's his response to this, right? So, problem is, it's here. Look where my hand is here, right? They put a new piece in here, right? So to secure it, they shot nails in, but look what they did. They got one in there, and they got two here that just simply missed. So they basically shot nails from here, right? And they already know the board is center with the other one. So why did they shoot it off like this, right? So that tells you they're either in a hurry, they don't really care. But if they would have moved it to the inside, you can see they put all sorts of crap in here to seal, because they split the crap out of this piece of wood right here. They just split it completely because they kept hammering through. So there's a total of this one area, there's 3 nails that went through right here. See, they're not even flush with the wood, by the way, but that's okay. But they cracked it and they just threw some, I don't know, silicone or putty or whatever and painted over it. But that's another example. So for them to say that the guy who did this is the one that did it, yeah, you're off about 18 inches. That don't fly. I know they're telling the homeowners this because they're figuring homeowners don't know anything about anything. But not true, not true. Now here's another one over here, and that's fine. And have to get measuring tapes to know. But I will say, this one that they missed does appear to be from this channel, the metal for channeling the water, right? This other one, you know, it'd be nice if they could hit the mark. One did, this one didn't, right? And that also appears to be from that. However, these two, which are really bad because they're not even, they're off maybe a 1/8 quarter inch, probably an 1/8 on that one. Those aren't even anywhere. My hand's right here and it's right here. That's not this. So I can't just say the dude that did this. And then the other thing, this side, that's kind of cool. See the way he bent that metal over and then cut it off? That's kind of neat. But that's the only one that's like that. So I'm sure some bees or bugs are gonna love to climb up in there, and who knows where it is on the other side because it goes up underneath the shingle. So I don't know. Again, I'm not an expert on this stuff, but I'll have to see if that should be sealed or not, or does that just create more problems for me in the future? But anyway, just pointing out that, you know, and look at that. So see, that's not even look at the gap there. That's not even flush. So one would question whether or not they, you know, some of this crew probably has never even done this level of work before, because that's just, I don't know, that's just crazy to me. I've showed this before, but I think it's important to highlight. These, I'm guessing, are long nails. But if you notice, that's been cut off right there. These go through these spacer tubes. I don't know what they're called technically, but that's certainly what they look like, right? So from the outside of a rain gutter, that's what you'll see. In the rain gutter, you will see this holding it, which is keeping its shape and form, right? And then this part goes into the fascia, right? Again, I'm not a roofer, but it don't take much IQ to figure out that that's there for a reason. Because if there's too much weight on the rain gutter and you don't put it in like it's supposed to be, then you could have problems with the rain gutter, right? And you'll see that here in the next video. I just need to get up on the roof. So here's a rain gutter. You can even see without zooming in much. There's the spacers. So there's two down there. You can definitely see the damage from when it collapsed on the pavement, when they took it down. But from that point down, and you can even see here, look at the damage they did on this, right? Hold on, look at that. So even if they got another nail, it would not hold, because look, they literally just ripped this off. Ripped it off. And so they pulled the nail through by yanking this down. That's how they took it down. But you can see the stability, right? So that's the reason they put those spacers, and I don't even need to watch a video to know why, but they do that so this thing keeps its form, right? I'm not saying the water is going to be so heavy it's going to bend this metal, but that one looks like they pulled out properly. This one they could not. So they literally probably used their claw hammer or something, and they just ripped it out. And that's why the hole's as big as it is. So totally ruined this gutter. So it tells me what they've done. You can't see it because it's hidden under here. Let me zoom out here. You can't really see it, but let me zoom out. What they would have done now, the only way this is holding up is they probably shot nails through here somewhere down the line to hold it in there. But that's it. The other thing is the opening's down there. Water's supposed to pour over there. Why did they get some metal tin snips or something, hammers, pliers, whatever? Why did they literally tear that, crumple that up, and bend it that way? Now we got water coming out this side. By the way, I used my level on this. They swore to me that they would put it back up a little bit better, where there's a little bit of an angle to it, but they did not. Which, I don't know why I was thinking they would. When they're using force to break it off the side of the house, why would I think they'd put a level on it to see if it's level? And by the way, they put it back up and it's level. If anything, it's higher down there than it is here because they have the support to hold it in place there. Here they don't. So they opened that up. They basically tore it up. So anyway, here's the thing that is really the main visual. And that is, you'll notice they had to come, well, you can't really notice, but it's in the previous video. On the last day, which was not this last Friday, the Friday before, like I said, it's been over a week. Late in the game, they had to go get some more metal flashing up there, right? And they did. I mean, I actually need to go take another look up there because there's a part I just noticed on camera that they may have missed. Notice that flashing, how it's not laying flat across there. That's a little bit concerning, but anyway, they just threw it up there, did some kind of spray paint on it. And if they're gonna do that, I'm not sure why they just didn't paint it down on the driveway before bringing it up here, but they haphazardly spray painted it, and they're supposed to come back and fix that. But also look above where the old flashing went. They also said they would paint that, probably white to match the fascia. So they need to come back and finish that. This you can see from the street. So even on a Google Street View, when this gets its new updates from Google, that's what everybody's going to see. So I don't know about the rest of the people that will see this video, but that's what they're going to see. So that's really tells you everything about the roofing company at this point. More importantly, the company they outsource to. All right, enough of that. Let me go on to the next video. I don't know if you can see it, but see the gap there? So to be clear, that beam right there coming out to the fascia, there's only one nail in it. One. You see it? It's at the top part of it. That's in the top part of it. See in the bottom part of that fascia going into that beam? One nail. That's it. One nail tacked in. That's it. Might be two in that one, but look at the gap. It's probably a half-inch gap right there with one nail at the top. That's it. That's how they put the fascia on. Kind of sad. This is another clear indication. You're going to see this throughout. The people that they bring in, I don't know if they're day laborers from Home Depot or whatever, but throughout this process, that's how they paint. Now, some of the boards, they were painting on the ground before putting them up. But for some, because they weren't consistent, each day there was a different crew, this is what they did. They tried to paint it after it was up. And the people they bring to paint, obviously it appears they don't really have any experience. You saw in the previous video of the paint roller pan falling from 32 feet up from the top floor to the second floor to the sidewalk. So that's the people who are painting. So just another problem, and hopefully over time it'll blend in, but yeah, that's how they paint. All right, this is going to be the final conclusion to this particular video. So this is the final clip that I'm going to add. I'm hopeful that roofers will show up today. It's been over a week since they've been on site, that they said they would come back and finish. So this will be the last day. After that, it's time to escalate with the original company who signed the contract. See what happens from there. But anyway, very simple. You notice they put the fascia in, and they literally just need to paint the bottom of it, which they have been telling me over a week they'll just simply do it. So we'll see. This will be the last video of this roof project. So just wanted to point out, even when after a week and a half of getting him back here to fix a few things like the vent pipe, they didn't spray paint it completely. They ran out of paint. So if you notice on the top, this is kind of a matte black, charcoal, whatever you want to call it. But when it came back, they brought back a different paint, insisting they would finish this. But I'm sure you can tell by the color. That's a glossy gray at the bottom, and that's more of a matte black at the top. So when they came back, look what they did, right? So when I questioned them, they're like, oh, no, it's the same, it's the same. They lied again. So case in point, all the pipes were done in black up there, right? But look what they did. Came back with this glossy, and they even painted part of my house. So they didn't even bother to tape it off. Absolutely amateurs. They may be okay at roofing. We'll find out when it rains. So look at that. Look how shiny that is, right? Anyway, I just decided to go to Home Depot. Basically, I'm gonna have to finish the job that they, now I gotta go back over this again. But let me show you how simple it is if they would have just done it right. Here's what they came back with. Did not match what they originally had, right? The can's even damaged. You can see they dropped it and threw it around. Orion gray gloss. That's what they left. They said, hey, you can keep it in case you want to touch up. I said, no, that's okay. I won't be touching this up. I have to redo it. I go to Home Depot in the same cage as that. You could have simply just got that for the same $7. $7. And they paint my house with gloss gray instead of the matte black that they had already started doing. So now I got to go back through and do more repair. So I know what they're doing. This old thing was in their truck, and that's all they had. You can see it all dented up and stuff. So they just decided to, use that, because that's what they had instead of doing it right. So they can't even be consistent. Every time they come here, they do something different. Just some extra curveball, some extra twist to everything. There is nothing uniform or consistent about any of the work that was done here. None. Anyway, that's my last little piece for this video. Hope you enjoy. Anyway, I just came back with that, and I'm not gonna do it now, but I'll tape it off. By the way, they're still supposed to come back. Even when they did spray, they spray painted the damn shingles too, but the city inspector came out and said, hey, that's not the code. You got to cut it a little wider. It's supposed to be an inch around it. No show. Crickets. They haven't come back. So city inspectors waiting on photos of the correction so it meets code, and they haven't even done that either. So anyway, battle continues. This will be the last final video. I'm getting a lot more response from the roofing company, at least concerns from the guy who runs it, the owner, son. But in going through all this in retrospect, I'm gonna do something that I haven't done in decades. But I can't wait. You see the blue sky here in California. I can't wait for when the rain's gonna come. So typically what I'd do is take a sprinkler or water hose or whatever and just get up on the roof and simulate a rainstorm, just like they do in the back lot of Paramount Pictures, right? So I'm gonna do that just to see if there's any leakage at all. The last thing I want is fast forward 6 months, we have a rainstorm, and then I can't find the company because they've gone out of business as a small private company. So you see where I'm going here. The city inspector came today, shared a few things with him. He's concerned, but he also shared some stories that he sees this all the time in the roofing industry. So homeowners, beware. You got to be on your toes 24/7 for the whole project. If you think you can just throw money at them and let them do their thing, you're going to be sorely mistaken. And the quality just isn't there. If your standards are low, hey, you'll be happy. Anyway, bottom line is, I may have commented in a previous one, the fascia that they put up here in the front, initially it wasn't even all the way across. That was the older boards versus the newer ones, and the size is different. That's not 100% accurate. You technically can still get the fascia, the wider ones, which is what I have here on the garage. So, but they said, oh, they don't make them anywhere. Well, that's not true. They actually do. They're more expensive, and of course that's why they go with these skinnier, smaller ones. The reality, or the bottom line is, in going through trying to find information on the permit with the city and things like that, I looked at the statement of work again. And to my surprise, item 6 in the statement of work says replace fascia around the entire house / property. And the fact that some of the fascia on the north side was good, they didn't replace it. So there is a massive disconnect between the owner of the company and the statement of work versus the outsourced roofing company individuals that show up. They absolutely are clueless. So technically, by the letter of the statement of work, they did it. They didn't complete the work. So anyway, this is the last part of the video. Just thought I'd point that out. Just another example of, where they just missed the basics of the statement of work that was a signed contract. So, but anyway, did they kind of cross and do things that maybe weren't in the statement of work? Yes, they did. So I guess it's kind of a wash at this point as the final video for this project. I'm ready to put it behind me now and move on with life. The good news is the city inspector showed up today, and he did confirm that it was signed off. The part that's still troubling is that the roofing company had promised to fix a violation, and the inspector of the city took his word that they would come back and do the work and take pictures and send it to him to close out the records. But the inspector did say, on good faith, I did sign off on the final inspection. So at least I know from the city I'm good. It's just that he's pissed off at the company for lying to him as well. So he's definitely not happy. So anyway, enough of that. Just the last video. And as I step back, I guess you could see the more or less finished product. I still need to go over and repaint the gloss gray to the matte black that was in the previous part of this video. But, from a distance, it looks good. Tomorrow I'll do the water test and see if it really is done. Because they made so many mistakes, I can't assume that the roof is sealed. You know what I mean? So, as a homeowner, I guess it's all on us to be buyer beware when you choose a company. So anyway, I will catch you on the next project. Take care, everyone, and thanks for watching.